Hello and welcome to Too Fast, Too Forever. There's all kinds of family, we chose this one. This is episode 274, Tokyo Drift, lap 12. I'm Joey Lewandowski.
I'm Joe too, and this episode is brought to you by Kung Pang International, kpdiesel.com. For all of your Japanese diesel engine part needs, check out kpdiesel.com.
Well, shout out to KP Diesel and welcome to Too Fast, Too Forever update from last week, which is an episode we recorded yesterday, behind the curtain. Not microphone back to normal. We're recording this in advance, but better audio than last week. So
sounds better. You sound like you're sick, but it's okay.
I'm just sick in the head, man. I'm just so twisted. I'm just like Jared Leto's Joker, man.
S-I-K-K-K-K-K-K.
The big benefit to this, I think, is that there's no delay in the AirPods hearing things and then communicating. I don't know. I've not edited it yet. I don't know what that sounds like, but we'll find out. But here we are, back at it.
It was all good. It was just tinny. You just sounded like you called in from your phone. It was okay.
Yes, back, going back to the early days of Cage Club, where Mike and I were recording on a single Skype call, where I'm just like, can't edit. Like, it just, so. Anyway, before we introduce our guest, you know who it is. I want to give a very special shout out to our patrons: Cassie Wilson, Ben Milliman, Nick Burris, Alex Ellenin, Justin Kleiman, Brian Rodriguez of High School Slumber Party, Haley Gerbies, Wes Hampton, Jerry Robinson, Dan the Duke, Hayden, Renato DiDonato, Michael McGann, Lane Middleton, Lindsay Lewandowski, Nate Milton of the Kings of Sports, Jason Rainey, Tom Price, Mike Gallier, and our guest this evening, Jessica Collins, a.k.a. Montez. Welcome back to the show, Ms. Montez.
Thank you. I'm back to bring the chaos once again.
Montez Minute. Let's do it. Do it before we do anything else. Montez Minute. Sum it up.
Fuck. I even wrote it down this time. So the first one is about, and I must have been hungry when I wrote this because I put
food.
I put that the first one.
You're wasting all your time here.
Tuna fish sandwiches.
Cool. Okay. Yep. One. Mm-hmm.
And it's a bromance. It's a throuple, quite possibly a love triangle that ends in tears for everyone.
Okay.
The second one is Demolition Derby. Everybody's hungry. We're eating a lot of snacks. Everybody's pockets are full of stolen goods, stolen money. Worst bad guy ever. The fourth one is about drugs. Wait.
Okay. Everyone's favorite food, drugs.
Drugs.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody's
hungry
favorite
for
food.
drugs.
Hungry for drugs. I literally don't remember anything else about the fourth one. Shit.
This is terrible. Montez, you wrote this down. This is going terribly, right? But keep going.
Listen, I did one word each because I was like, I still gotta wing it. I didn't want to write a whole thing.
Mm-hmm. No script.
All right. The fifth one, Brazil.
Okay.
This is the Italian Job in Brazil. They're dragging shit through the streets. They made a lot of damage. They ruined a lot of people's lives. But they made a lot of jobs for a lot of people too. So maybe they were doing great. They were doing great things. They were doing the Lord's work.
Sure.
Rolling these streets. 6 is the longest runway. I don't even know what they're doing on this runway. Where Giselle died. Did she die?
Did she die?
Did
There's
she
been
die?
news this week.
Han decides he's gonna go to Tokyo, and here we are.
Here we are. Now, Montez, before we talk about the most dominant, before we kick this off, that was adequate. That was better than last week. Last week was a disaster. This is a better installment. I mean, I think for the listener, it's worse because it was less chaotic. But you actually you didn't sum up the movies. That's not what these are anymore. This is just you, word associating one idea.
That's fine.
Yeah,
I like it. It's what we're going to get to. It's going to
whatever you
want to
do. Exactly. Yeah. Now, I think you mentioned this last time. I think you answered this question last time. But Montez, preference between American muscle and imports?
I mean, I do enjoy an American muscle car, but I also, sorry.
The dog squeaking a toy.
The Christmas toy.
Oh, this asshole. He waits until I'm doing something.
Of course. No, Milo always tries to talk in the podcast. It's okay.
What were we talking about?
American muscle or import?
American muscle or import? Yes, but my favorite car
I
ever...
do like that he only squeaks it when you talk. I can mute
I know!
it otherwise, but only when you're talking does he squeak it.
I know! He's such an asshole! He is such a dick! Aston Martin DB5 is my favorite vehicle.
Oh,
Okay, so that's an import, but that's not really
Yeah.
the like. I don't want to say
Right.
that's the spirit of the question.
not a
I guess
tuner.
Yeah.
tuner or American muscle, because we are watching all sorts of American, some
Yeah.
American cars drifting at the end, but mostly Japanese cars drifting in this movie. Preference between those and American muscle.
American Muscle.
Okay, I'm gonna actually put here. Here's the thing. I'm going to so on the spreadsheet where I keep all these answers. I have a few different columns with emojis, like the bet it all on red, black. There's like the black and red circles. This
Yeah.
either has a flag, the American flag or the Japanese flag. Montez, I'm going to put the British flag here for you.
Thank you. Thank you
Oh,
so
I
much.
like that.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah. Now, there's another question. This is unrelated to just about anything we've talked. I don't even know if you know oh, you listened to the show, so you know the history of this. But Montez, is the word oil one syllable or two?
Oh God. I was hoping this was never going to come up.
Sound it out.
Just say it. Say the
Oil.
word.
Oil.
One.
Oil.
One.
It's two. Oil.
Thank you, Montez.
She said oil and then said
Oil.
it's two.
Oil.
As
I
one
think she was
syllable.
trying to sound that out. She was saying it both ways. I think, Montez is one of our southernmost guests, and I think the closer you get to the south, the oilman, like that. I don't know I don't actually know if that's a benefit in my corner or not. It just kind of becomes maybe one long slurred syllable or two. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
My dad's a mechanic, so
Is your dad in the house? Is he there for Christmas?
no, he lives he lives 10 minutes down the road.
Oh, I was gonna say never mind because I was gonna say get him on the pod, ask him, but if he's not in the house,
You know
no
what?
interest.
I will ask him, and then I will report back to the two of you, and you can let all the listeners know.
No,
Okay.
no. Let Joey call him live
No,
on air, but without
his phone number. His
yes.
phone number has to be in a movie somewhere, and we have to notice it. We have to do it in a minute.
Ah, no, that's not fair. No, I wanted you just to call him from a random number from New Jersey and be like, "Hey, we know your daughter. I have a very serious question." And he's gonna be like, "What the fuck is happening?" And you're like, "Is oil one syllable or two?" And just see this man's reaction. Please.
Weirdly enough, I have a note from Tokyo Drift about this specific conversation. We have another thing to get to before we talk about the movie explicitly, but
This conversation, we've never had
Yes.
that conversation.
no. Well, I know. but this
Call
is the note.
Montez's dad.
No. This is the note. This is the note. Believe it or not. So toward the end of the movie, when Sean is he's in the office. He's returning the money that Han stole to Uncle Kamada, right?
Yes.
And he's like, I
Yeah.
have a peaceful way to end this. We're gonna have a race, and everybody starts laughing, right?
Yeah.
He refers to him as DK. And I think it's funny that it would be like us talking. This is what I wrote down. It would be like us talking to Montez's family and calling her Montez. Like that's not what they call her. They might
Yes.
know that as a name.
True,
But it'd be
yeah.
funny if a random phone number calls her dad and is just like, "We know Montez." She's like, "Who's Montez?" Be like, "Don't worry. You know who Montez is. Don't worry about it."
Your daughter.
Yes.
And he's like, "What?" And then you're like, "But answer this question first."
But he doesn't say like Takashi, right? He just says
No,
DK. He refers to him as DK, which like I know that Uncle Kamada probably knows, but like it's his family. Call him Takashi, right? Like it's so funny. So, but I was just thinking because like there's very few guests that we've had where we give them a name that's not their name in any way. It's not even tied to her other than you listen to Zack Attack, but it's the same kind of thing where it's like you're referring to someone as a wildly different name to their family, which is like why are you doing that?
It's wild, dude. But I think we should do this. We should, Montez, give us your dad's phone number live on air, and so we can call him. Just kidding.
He's asleep right now because he goes to work at 4:30 in the morning. But
Oh, sounds like my dad. Yeah, if it's 8:30 and I try to call my dad, he's probably fucking asleep. So
yeah,
that's
my dad's asleep.
Is your dad similar to Sean's dad in this movie?
Does he like prostitutes? Is that what you're asking, Montez?
I don't know that my father has ever had a prostitute. Probably it was a wild time back then. He was a
You
young
say
man.
probably though. You think probably yes.
I don't know. I mean, sure, probably, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Eileen,
I don't
yeah.
know. Probably. It's
Okay.
highly likely. I don't
Okay.
know. Got a lot
I
of
respect
ladies
it.
of the night here.
I respect it. Montez,
Chaos energy reigns supreme.
I can't. I don't know where to go from there. So we're just gonna go into what is your pick for the most Dom moment. You tweeted at us a picture. You said the paper got bigger. I said the handwriting stayed the same size.
Yeah, I did.
That was I wish I could convey on Twitter that like all I wanted to do is be like the paper got bigger, but the handwriting stayed.
All
the
right,
same.
all right.
Yeah,
That's how
I thought.
That's exactly how I read it. So it
Thank you.
worked. Yeah.
Glad we're all on the same page. Okay.
Yeah.
So Yeah, Montez, what is your most Dom moment in this film?
I put Han explaining that the type of people you have around you makes you the type of person that you are.
Okay.
That's that's a very good answer. Yeah.
I was on the fence of whether Han is too zen to be Dom like. I think at moments he is, and at other moments he's not. What
Yeah,
do you think of that, Joe? Do you think that he too zen? Because Dom's not really zen. Like Dom
He's not. He's not. He's
is
not.
he's like reserved, but he is not zen. He is like he's a clustered ball of rage that needs therapy at times, I think, right?
Yeah.
Like he
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think that he exhibits zen. Like zen in the sense that he like works on cars and is a mechanic and that can be meditative, sure. But even that feels like a stretch.
yeah,
Like it's not zen like Han is like the world, around the people around you are what like exhibits your character. Like that Dom's not like that. Like although he might subscribe to these things, I don't
right.
think that that's what he's exhibiting.
Montez, what do you know of Dom so far? Which is most of Dom, because you've seen movies that we still have not talked about yet. Would you describe Dom where on the scale of 1 to 10, 10 being like Buddhist monk, 1 being a ball of rage? Where is Dom on the scale of Zen?
well, I mean, I guess it depends. Is he hungry? Is his belly empty? Is his tummy full?
Why is food on the brain with you 100% of the time?
I'm always hungry.
I do want to say, I don't know if you listened to the episode. Yeah, just kidding. I know you didn't listen to the episode that just came out. But remember the last time you were on, Joe was coming up with questions about Dom's pets and what kind of pet would he have. We watched the movie Riddick, where he has a pet jackal, basically. So like we answered that. So
Yeah.
I think Joe, the Iron Giant, we're going to watch that next, and we're going to be like, oh my god, they're talking about how zen the Iron Giant is, which actually might be the case. I don't remember, but like we might get an answer in the next episode.
Tune in to find out.
Tune in to find out. But I think that's a pretty solid pick for you, Joe. What is your most Dom moment?
Okay, so I actually wasn't thinking about it as I was watching the movie this time, but when you brought it back up, I was thinking that my most dumb moment has to be Sean's dad giving Sean the Mustang to use
It's a
as
pretty
his
good
race
pick.
car.
Pretty good pick.
I think that that exhibits the most Dom like material, but also I kind of want to like sidecar that with the idea that I could also see Dom being mad at his son for racing and addressing him about it. Like, have you been out racing, Sean? Like that, like, don't live the life that I've lived type situation. Because I think in a long enough timeline, Dom will regret some of his decisions and not want baby Brian to follow in his footsteps. So I think both together, but mainly the Mustang being given to like if it came down to it and baby Brian needed a car to race in and all he had was the engine from his dead Japanese friend, he would probably let him use the body of the car that he's been working on to put the engine in to race for his exile.
Do you think in a future movie Brian's kid is going that Dom will give Brian's kid Jack a Mustang? Or is he? I guess if Jack gets old enough to drive, he's gonna have to drive a Skyline, right? Like I was thinking about if there could be like a way to like men like cross the like the
I
Dom.
think I know exactly what you're saying, and I think I know where this goes. I think that like Brian had given him a Skyline, but then like Uncle Dom gives him his Charger, and they he has two cars that are both badass, and it's like that's what happens. And then like Brian's kid, what's do we know Brian's kid's name?
Yeah, Jack.
Jack. Okay, so then Jack will be like, "Oh man, but this thing is really cool." And like fuck my dad because like that's just how that goes in life.
So he's gonna go with American Muscle in the end
Yeah, I think
because
so.
he's got Toretto and O'Connor blood in him.
Yeah, but I think like your uncle's always like much cooler than your dad, anyways. And honestly, Dom is much cooler than Brian is, right? So like if your dad's like, I fucking love this thing, you're like, oh yeah, that's really cool, right? It's a Skyline, that's fucking cool, and I have a car now. And then your uncle's like, yeah, but like it's not as fast as this shit. You'd be like, oh fuck yeah, you're right, dude.
Because given without spoiling future movies from Montez, because there are actually like major things that she does not know about yet. I don't think it's crazy to think that like in the timeline of F9, Jack, who's not in the movie, is like probably close to 10. Maybe he's 8 or 10 years old.
No,
So
no,
like,
we only go 2 years between a movie, no matter how long it takes for them to come out, Joey. We
no,
know
but if you
this.
think about the thing that Montez does not know about yet, the new character that Montez does not know about yet, and his
Okay.
age,
Oh, yes, yes. Yeah.
right?
If we use movie timeline.
Yes, that's what I mean. Like I think that like but when F9 comes out, Jack is probably 8 or 10. If there's another little time jump, he could be 15 and driving by the end of the last movie.
You're right. Yeah, that's very, very true.
And like I think he would I think given what the fans want, I think he would have to be in a skyline. I think he has to be the Brian replacement, but I don't know. Who knows? We'll find
Yeah,
out. Maybe. Eventually.
eventually.
So I was thinking before I get to my most Dom moment, I think because I was looking at the different characters in this movie through the lens of masculinity and specifically Dom's masculinity, I gotta say, I was more firmly in Sean's dad's team here. Like, I don't think Woman of the Night in his apartment aside, and like maybe not the best welcome to your son flying in from America.
Yeah.
He is really kind and accommodating to Sean in a way that he does not deserve the scorn that Sean gives him back. Like, I know Sean doesn't want to be there, but like, I was like, I am really like his dad's doing a good thing here.
He has a tiny ass apartment. He gives him the bed. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
what the fuck else do you need? Like, that's like the greatest sign of like honor, I guess. I don't know, but like you're right. Like Sean's dad's morals are questionable. We've talked about this a bunch. But you're right in the same sense that like I think that he's doing best by his son that he can in the situation that he's in. Like he didn't. It's not like he moved to Japan with Sean and like didn't get him a bedroom or something.
Right.
He
Yeah.
like just gets sent there,
Hmm.
and he's like, okay, take my bed. I still have to work. Your mom doesn't want you anymore. Just
Yep.
stay away from cars and like go to fucking school and we can do this. And you can pretty much do whatever the fuck else you want because I'm never here. And like that's a good deal, I think.
And I think in the middle of the movie, when he kicks Sean out, it's not really anger. It's just like I set a rule, man. Like we had one rule, you broke the rule. I'm disappointed. And like I think
It's not like it's not like he even broke like the one rule. He's been habitually line
yeah,
stepping for like his whole life. So
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's not like it's like no, dude, this was the last resort. I set a rule that's just like stay away from cars, go to fucking school. And he doesn't do that even. You're like, get the fuck out, dude. I don't know what to tell you. Like you're beyond my logic. I can't deal with this.
Yeah. Mondo, do you have thoughts on Sean's dad overall?
Yeah, he should have just punched him in the face.
Who should have punched who?
His dad should have punched him in the face.
Oh, I know you hate Sean. I know you hate
Yeah.
Lucas Black. I know you hate his accent. I know all of that.
No, his character is such a little shit.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah, he plays little shit pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean like old little shit, but yes.
I mean, he looks like he's about 45. But
Yes,
yeah,
yeah.
he's in high school.
I do think that Sean's dad saying, "Have you been racing, Sean? You're out of here." Like the kind of quiet, just like you broke the rule, you're out. Like I think that's kind of a Dom moment. I'm gonna go, and there's obviously like the obvious one is Dom's only moment is the most Dom moment because I think that this is like Dominic Toretto condensed down to his purest essence, right? Just like cool car family, like in 15 seconds. Like this is everything Dom on screen in a single thing, right? I'm gonna go with though. I think Neela has the most Dom moment in this movie.
Oh, explain why? Because I also had the like. Sorry to derail you for just a
No,
second,
no, no.
but because Sean is essentially playing the like main character, I was debating if Sean should get a Dom moment and like should it be something like maybe saving Bow Wow from the iPod beating up type situation or
Even
something
though
like
even though
that.
Bow Wow hates that he does that.
Yes, but he's looking out for his friends. Like I was
Yes.
thinking this, but like I think Sean is definitely more Brian than Dom, right? Like he's not like I guess Han is Don in this Han is Dom in this movie.
I think so. He's a more Zen Dom, but yes, I would say so.
If you had to like pair it, it'd be like okay, because they're not in these movies. Like Brian and Sean are way more similar than Dom and Sean.
Right. Yeah, I think it's the mentor mentee and not like a love story. Like I don't think this is like I don't think the
No,
Sean
no,
Han love story is as strong as the
no.
Dom Brian from the first one. Like I think there is like kind of a bromance there that is
Yeah,
interrupted by Han
fair.
getting
Yeah.
killed, but I think archetypally Han is for sure the Dom in this movie.
Maybe it's DK because he's like the most successful racer, but like also Dom wouldn't lose at the end.
Yeah, I don't know. I do think Sean has. I think Sean's most Dom moment is at the very beginning of the movie, saying, "I only race for pinks." Just like I'm confident, like whether he has the right to be
That's fair.
confident or
That's fair.
not.
Yep.
It's just like this is what I'm doing. Like I'm not doing anything less. You're gonna raise to my level. You're not gonna race me.
Yes, that's fair.
Good. What's your best nom moment though, please?
Neela's line, "I don't need a computer to tell me about my throttle response." It's just like I don't want your computers. Like it's about the driver, right? It's not the car. It's the driver. It's her just saying, I know my car inside and out, and I don't need a computer to tell me what to do.
I agree with that part of the sentiment. I disagree with the fact because Dom has Jesse doing all of his computer shits for
Yeah,
him.
but I think like to the world, he's just like, oh man, I know my car.
That's fair, and and I think that's true and fair. But the idea that like Dom doesn't ever disregard Jesse or Tej or anybody that's like doing the man in the chair behind the scenes stuff for him either.
Sure.
Like he's more collaborative. So, but I get it. That exact one sentiment, like I know the car better than you can tell me I know the car, is true.
Yeah. The only other moment that I wrote down that could maybe be a Dom moment, I don't know if it's a direct comparison, but like Uncle Kamada, like I just think it's the kind of move that Dom would make where he's just like, I don't understand these papers at all, but even I know he's stealing from you. Just like, I don't know about all this paperwork or whatever, but like, I can read between the lines. It just feels like don't bother me with the little stuff. I can see the big picture here, and you're hurting the family.
I have a question for you guys. You
Yeah.
just broke it into my brain. I have a chaos question. Do you think Mia ever stole money from the register in Toretto's cafe?
Probably to buy like earrings at Delia's or something for sure, or Claire's.
You
But
do? Do you think Dom knew?
Yeah, I think he let her have it. I think he was like, that's like, she deserves
It's
more than I'm paying
breakage.
her. Yeah.
It's like a bonus.
yeah,
Montez,
but like,
what do you think?
is it stealing if it's
Yes.
their cafe?
Yes.
Well,
If
she's
you're
not
taking
telling
money
Dom. Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
If you're taking money from the register, it's stealing. I mean, granted, she's stealing from herself in quotation marks, but
I think Mia, knowing the family, knowing the people around her, went through a rebellious phase, and then I think quickly snapped out of it. But I think that earlier, when she was trying to get maybe her brother's attention, when he was like head over heels with Letty or busy with his friends or
oh,
whatever, I think
young.
she
Okay.
tried to act out a little bit.
So how
And
long do you think he's had this cafe before? Like, how long has he had it?
I don't know. This is a question for Montez. Montez is obsessed with this cafe.
I want to
I
say
know.
I'm loving that we're coming full circle here. We're talking about the cafe, and I didn't even have to bring it up.
No,
Montez,
but
how
I
long do you
have
think he's
real
had the cafe
questions.
for? Yeah. You do.
I don't know, like 15 years.
Wow.
No,
Because
Dom is
we,
like 25 at the beginning of the. So he's had it since he was 10.
we
Yeah.
know that he has a mortgage and that he's worried about the mortgage on the market, or that
Fair.
he's worried. Well,
Yes.
no, actually, no, he's worried about the mortgage on the house. He's also worried about the market. So like,
I
I
mean, I
don't
guess
know.
it
And
depends.
Mia's in high school now.
I guess it depends on like how long has he had this crew? Like, is the cafe
Well,
the
he's
front?
known Vince since the third grade.
That's true.
And Letty since she was 16 when Dom got interested in Letty.
Montez, it's like you didn't even watch the first movie and have the whole thing memorized.
Listen,
Sorry. Yeah, no. That's just us knowing way too much about the
So
first
yeah, so if
movie.
Dom is 25, he's known Vince since he was about 9. Letty, so he's known Vince for about 15-ish years. He's known Letty for about 10 years.
let's say 3 years.
He's
3
essentially a
years?
single parent right now, Montez, with his own business.
Yeah.
Okay?
The question is like, at what point in? Okay, so we know that he is. This is why everyone wants. This is the best Tokyo Drift talk, talking about the first movie. But we know that he is.
Go
No,
ahead.
no, no. It's fine. I'd rather talk about the first movie, even though I love this movie, because the first movie is fascinating. So we know that he is like a local celebrity race car driver,
Yes.
and influential enough that whatever he buys, everyone else will buy. So you figure he might have some kind of sponsorship with Harry's, maybe, right? But he's known in that circle. He's
Yes.
also, like you're saying, a single parent. At what point is it financially viable to be like, yeah, I'm going to start my own business? Because it seems wholly unconnected. It almost feels like he inherited the business from a family member and is just keeping it alive.
Yeah, but we never have any. We never get any recognition that like his dad had a cafe. His dad was like a broke race car driver that died when he was very young.
Mom, man. I mean, outside
And the
of two
mom's
scenes,
gone. She's fucking gone.
I know, but outside of 2 or 3 scenes in the first movie, we don't have any indication that like he has a cafe at all.
Maybe it's his uncle's cafe.
Maybe it's Tony Toretto's cafe.
I just said Tony Toretto. Get the fuck out of my brain.
Montez, have you watched Spy Racers? Did we talk about this?
Spy Racers.
I started it, but I never.
I think if your son... Did you show your son Tokyo Drift? This is the one you've been saving for him.
Yes, and we got through the very first chase scene, like where they're racing with the
through Shangri-La, like the opening race scene.
And then he lost interest because he's 3, and he was like, "Ooh,
that's fair.
That car just crashed. Did you see that?"
And then ran away to go play with his new toys because it's Christmas.
He actually said that car just crashed. Just like Lightning McQueen, I swear to God. And I was like, I really wish I had recorded that.
One of our patrons was telling us that when his son was about, how old was Hank when the first, like 9 or 10 maybe, when the first seasons came out, that he had a son who was like basically in the target demo.
Oh, by the way, happy birthday, Hank.
Happy birthday, Hank.
Okay, you had a birthday
I know
recently.
You're a big listener to the podcast. But like when the first season of Spy Racers came out on Netflix and like was basically geared toward kids his son's age, Justin could not get Hank to watch it at all. He's just like, this is no interest to me.
He said he watched like the first one and was like, Dad, can we please stop watching this?
But I think maybe for like a 3-year-old, it might be better.
Maybe.
Yeah. I'll have to give it another go.
That's
I'll have
your
to give it
homework.
another go.
So, okay, Montez. Tokyo Drift, back to Tokyo Drift, back to the future after movie 6, before the credit scene. Did you add more boxes, more quadrants, or are you just had more thoughts about this one?
I just wrote down more thoughts.
Okay, hit us with them.
All right. DK got the fuck.
He does? When?
He does. He says we're all the product of fuck-ups.
Oh, but that's like a sneak-in one. That's not like...
I don't even have that written down in my notes. That's a nice one. Good
yeah,
job,
no, I like
Montez.
that. Good, astute observation, Montez.
Thank
I really
you.
like that.
So we already know I hate Lucas Black's accent. That's literally all I hate about this movie.
That's the only thing you hate about this movie?
Yeah, this movie ranks higher for me than Too Fast. Too Fast is still the worst. I love the music in this movie.
It's so good. The score is so fucking good, right?
I just love that there's constantly music. Some of these songs I haven't heard since like high school, which was pretty funny.
Yeah.
This one's a really long sentence. And you kind of brought this up earlier, Joey. But
use no punctuation and say it all at once, please.
Or use it however you like. If you put punctuation in your sentence, it's okay. But if you don't have punctuation, like Joe said,
please
read it as it's written.
I love how absolutely ridiculous this plot is. Sean would be dead. You really think that Yakuza is just gonna not murder him and let him say, this stupid little Southern boy say, I have a deal for y'all. And they're like, oh my gosh, this is like such a great idea. Why did we ever think about this? We're not going to murder him today, guys. I'm feeling generous. Let's go have a race.
How much of your hatred for him comes from where you live?
All of it.
Okay.
Bama
because
boy?
You're surrounded by Seans.
You don't like Bama boys?
Fuck no. Sorry to all the Bama boys listening.
Did you import your husband?
Yeah.
Like, where's he from?
Boston.
Oh, you did import your husband.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I made a Yinzer wife. It happens. Okay.
Montez, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
How come I never see you drift?
There's
a right answer to this question.
You never
Montez,
asked.
how come I never see you drift? Because you never ask.
My son drifts all the time.
He does.
He learned from the best.
Who's the best? Lightning McQueen?
Me?
Oh, you. Okay. Yeah,
Doc Hudson, obviously.
I had a thought watching this movie. In the opening credits scene, when they're spray painting the purple paint, like using the paint gun on that kid.
On the stomach, right?
On the stomach. You know what it gave me big vibes of that we just watched?
What?
The Wraith. The, attack of a poor soul inside a garage, inside a shop room, and I was just thinking, like, man, that was a really good movie too. And I was wondering if Justin Lin had maybe seen The Wraith, and that was his little like homage to The Wraith.
Maybe. I thought you were. I was bracing myself for the scene in Superfast where they drown the guy in maple syrup, right? Like they instead of waterboarding Ted with the gasoline, they're using maple syrup or whatever. I'm like, please don't bring up Superfast. But then I did it anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
But maybe. I mean, I think it's like a. Like, does that hurt? Is that cold? Like, what would that
It'd be
feel like?
cold. I think it would be
Yeah.
cold. Montez, have you ever had somebody use a paint gun on your stomach?
No, but I have been put inside of a box. The box was then duct taped, and then I was put inside of a dumpster, and the dumpster was closed.
Why?
What?
Tell the
I
rest
have-
of the
what?
story. Yeah, please unfold.
So my dad's a mechanic. I mentioned that. I used to work.
What does your dad have to do with the story? This got way more interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
please.
So my dad's a mechanic.
Well,
I
one
used to
of
work,
the many prostitutes he hired put her in a box.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to work with my dad. I was the only
Woman.
woman.
So
Well,
you literally learned it from watching him.
yeah. So picking up prostitutes, yeah. I mean, it's
anything,
it's an art.
everything.
It's an art.
I like prosties.
So while I worked there, everybody picked on me, obviously. So I had to prove that I could hold my own. I
By
let
getting
them
put into that's a prank, Montez. They
You
pranked
know what?
you into pranking you into being cool, like to being cool in their eyes. But that was a full-on prank. They just
was
put you in a
it was
box.
it was a hazing,
Yes.
and I survived. I climbed out of the dumpster by myself.
Did you
How?
unwrap the box yourself, or did they unwrap the box for you?
I unwrapped the box myself. They didn't
How?
tie it too. They didn't tape
Okay.
it too tight. I've
Cellophane or
got-
duct? What are we talking about?
It
here?
was duct tape. I have huge
Wow.
muscles. Okay, my muscles are huge. I'm like 120 pounds on a good day.
Well, you have mom strength, so like, you're probably even stronger
Yes, yeah, you can
Oh,
just
it gets-
Mia this right through the fucking thing. Let's do
Oh well,
it.
it gets better. I got another one.
Keep going, please. Chaos energy reigns supreme.
I was once put inside of a stack of tires, so 4 tires high. They were pretty big tires. Head first, and I had to get out of the stack of tires.
Montez, I know this is called CrossFit, and people do this all the time, and
People
they pay
pay
money
to
to
have
do
this.
it. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
people
pay
pay
to
for
do
this.
this.
Are you
This
trying to
is-
say that I created CrossFit?
Pretty much.
No, you developed free CrossFit.
That one's not a hate. That's just they were just trying to get you to work out. That's totally fine.
Well, my favorite story is I walked out into our shop.
What? And the third one? Keep
Yeah,
going.
I got another one. And a clock fell down, and someone just turned around and yelled, "Flava Flav!"
Montez, that was not the best story. You ended on a
Yeah,
low
you
note.
ended on a terrible note.
And that's coming from me, who's a terrible storyteller for most of the
Listen.
time.
God
Cut.
damn.
Cut that, put that at the beginning, and then make this like memento, just fucking splice it together, fix it in post.
Montez, go back to your notes. What else you got?
All right, let's see. I put that I would absolutely starve to death at this school. Again, food.
Why? You don't like Japanese foods?
I am such a picky eater that I would die.
Oh
Um,
God, I
I-
hate
That
you.
seems to track with what we know about Montez.
Yeah, that
Yup.
does. God damn it, you and my wife. Fuck.
Sean is such a trash racer.
Just bad at it. He's just bad
Just
at racing.
trash. Just trash. Yeah.
Down
so the
the
fact that
line. He gets
just,
better. He learns how to drift. That's the whole middle of the movie. That's like 3/4 of the movie is him learning how to drift.
I mean, yeah, I saw the training montage, but no, he's still a trash racer.
Okay. Why?
I-
But why? Why is he so? Because he hits the cars sometimes. That's the American way. You just fucking
Yeah.
send it and go.
Yeah, if he was a good racer, he would miss the other cars.
He's
But he
working on it.
wins. But you win. That's the whole point.
They were cones.
Okay.
The MC Hammer poster when he first gets to Japan, I thought that was pretty funny.
There's a reason for that. Do you know about this?
No.
There's a whole MC Hammer. MC Hammer was friends with Justin Lin, and Justin Lin needed extra financing for this
Yeah.
movie.
So he financed
and
part of the
he
movie.
Called MC Hammer. He's just like, I don't know who else to call, and MC Hammer helped fund part of this movie. Or maybe it was Better Luck
Yeah.
Tomorrow. I don't know if it was this movie. I think this movie was too big. I think it was Better Luck Tomorrow. But
Yes,
MC
yeah.
Hammer's in there because Justin Lin is friends with him because MC Hammer bailed him out.
That's pretty cool.
Isn't
man.
it like a wild
That is
Like-
really wild.
Justin Lin's like, yo, MC, can I get some funds for this movie? He's like, yeah.
Just put my face somewhere.
I don't think he did. I think he did it as an homage on the back end, not MC was put my face in the movie. I think it was the other way. Because what's MC promoting?
I like that we're calling him MC. MC is the thing that all DJs share. Just call him Hammer.
Hammer. Oh, Hammer. No,
Mr.
I think
Hammer?
he goes by MC. You think he goes by Hammer?
He says in the song, Hammer don't hurt him. He calls himself Hammer.
No, I think the ladies call him Hammer. And he if you're talking to him and your boys, just MC.
Reverend Hammer.
Reverend.
The good Reverend. The good doctor.
The good doctor.
Speaking of, did you see that Bill Cosby going to go on tour next year?
Really?
Yeah.
To be honest, I honestly thought he was dead. Like, until you just said that.
No,
I know
he survived prison.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. I really thought that he died like a while. Like, I know that he went to prison, but I think I killed him in my head as he went to prison. Both work for me. Going on tour is a wild concept.
I thought you were going to say, you know what? I want to see him on tour.
No,
like,
totally thought he was going to say that. I totally thought he was going to say that.
Absolutely not. No, I'm saying if he dies before he gets on tour, I'm fine with it. That's what I was trying to say.
Okay.
I'm kind of sad. I wish that Sean had gotten an ego check at some point in this movie.
The entire movie's an ego check for him, I feel.
No, I feel like it all just worked out for him at the end.
In the end, because that's what movies happen. But I feel like the entire movie is the country of Japan being like, you don't belong here.
Yeah.
Yes. But that's actually the country of Japan. Like, they'll welcome you for a little and then be like, but you don't get to stay. Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Okay. Uncle Kamada
Please.
looks like Dick Tracy when he first walks in that white suit.
Oh. Okay.
Now, Montez, I think you probably know the answer. Do you know who the actor who plays Uncle Kamada is?
No.
Joe, do you want to hit her with it?
Sonny Chiba.
Do you know who Sonny Chiba is?
No.
Joe, do you want to hit her with it?
I've heard the name.
Hattori Hanzo.
From Kill Bill.
I've only seen that movie once.
God damn,
Montez.
I was gonna say you guys don't slap me through the line here.
Go back.
Yeah, Soldier Boy kissed her through the phone. We're gonna slap you through the podcast.
Oh no!
Good reference. Wow, Joey's on full chaos energy. He came prepped tonight. I like it.
Yes.
Okay. Here we go. Soldier Boy references. Okay, I'll take them.
All right. I'm to the last of my notes. I do have.
I know. Yeah, we've been
all
for half an hour.
Solid 13 minutes of that. Keep going.
We're all prepped. I'm I don't have a lot of stamina. Okay.
People check the runtime. They're like, "Yep, this is about the time of the episode where Montez runs
out of notes." Just paper got bigger, handwriting stays the same size.
Oh my gosh! I wish
the idea that you made quadrants and they're not in a fucking grid blows my mind every time. I saw the picture and I was like, why are they like? Why'd you put an end? Like, I think that maybe Montez next time try 4 different pages because I think you're putting an end point to your fucking thoughts.
You're limiting yourself.
I'm doing it to myself. Yeah. I'm doing it to myself. Okay. Okay.
You're sandbagging your own shit. That's what I'm trying to say here.
All right. The next one.
God damn. At least half and half them. Like, come on.
Okay, look.
Front and back, you can do both sides. Paper
Fuck
you
doesn't
can write
need a full page. Fuck doesn't need a full page, so fucking other thoughts will go together.
There's a star. Page. That's a star in the top corner, Montez. That's not.
All right.
Oh God.
I got you. I'm gonna figure this out for next time. Okay. I'm gonna figure this out for next time. Listen, sometimes I'm writing my notes and I'm like, man, does anybody give a shit what I'm writing here? Maybe don't write that down.
Montez is making like a grocery store list. She's like, I ran out of space. We're only getting 6 things today because my handwriting is enormous.
Yeah.
Her son's like, Mommy, did you buy me juice? No, I didn't have room on the paper.
Her poor kid got 3 toys for Christmas because she couldn't put more on the page. She just ran out of room. He got his toy, car, light name equipment. It just ended. That was it. That's all he
got. Sorry, kid. Sorry to ruin Christmas. Okay. Much like Vince not knowing how to read and me being flabbergasted that he learned another language so fast, how the fuck did Sean, with that dumbass accent, learn how to speak Japanese so fast?
He didn't. He never did. He learned a couple words in Japanese. He didn't learn how to speak Japanese.
I think it's the same thing for both of them. I think it's just trial by immersion. Like you're in another country where you can't get around unless you speak the language.
All right.
I did pretty good. By the time that I was leaving Japan, I was pretty decent.
Wait, Montez, you remember this story about Joe's Tokyo trip?
Tell it to me again.
It started from this movie. I got really drunk. I was watching Tokyo Drift, and I found the longest possible study abroad that I could find in Japan, and I signed up for that day. Like that night, I woke up and it was like, "You've been accepted to study abroad. Send in your fucking transcripts." And I was like, "Oh shit, I actually did that." And so then I went, and it was a lovely time. But that's exactly how I spent multiple months in Japan.
Cool story, bro.
Thank you. Yeah, well, I didn't get put inside a tire or fucking whatever, but sure.
Or guys, the best story of all,
Flavor
Flavor
Flav.
Flavor Flav!
Oh my god. Okay. I did not write this down, but
Okay.
I did enjoy this movie. We all know how much I hate Too Fast. I did enjoy this movie more because there was so much more racing, there was so much more vehicle
Yes.
ness,
Yes.
vehicular
Ness.
manslaughter. Yeah, so I really
Montez,
enjoyed
you
that.
segued me perfectly into another thought that I had while watching this movie. And it's something that like we've kind of like danced around, but I don't think we've ever like formally talked about, Joey. And that's that I'm really sad that, and I think there's a distinguishing point here, that I'm sad that we now kind of end these movies on like an action set piece number as opposed to a race. And we talked about how like, the race is diminishing, and the cars are less important, it's more about family, whatever. But like I feel if we don't end 10B on an actual head-to-head street race, I will be disappointed. Do you have thoughts on this?
I think they're playing to two bases here. I think they're playing to we need to make $1 billion and people want
Yes,
action, but I also
absolutely
think that
fair.
they want to end things in a way that their fans feel like is deserving of the
Vindicated.
franchise.
Yeah.
I don't know how because we don't know who the final boss, final villain, final enemy will be. I would be surprised if there's not like a really cool race in the final movie.
Like a one head-to-head for exile, something along those lines. Because like that's what I get, that the stakes aren't as high and the action isn't as high, whatever. But like, I think that we should maybe have an action set piece. And I was trying to think back, and like, I don't want to spoil nine for Montez because I know she hasn't seen it yet. But I feel like nine kind of ends on something that resembles a race, but not as much of a chase. I want like an actual like head to head Rita Ora, exceedingly handsome guy, and go race, right?
I think realistically, what would happen is that they would save the world through some kind of spectacle, and then there would be a race between like Dom and CGI Brian or something. Like I think that it's gonna.
We
I
get
can see it.
yeah, another one of these like the road splits, like seven type
Yeah.
situation.
hmm
Yeah, I think so too. And
I just don't. I don't know. I don't know how you save the world via a race. Like the fact that like he's like, I know how to solve this thing where like people are literally dying. We're gonna race down a mountain, right? Like it's just like that's not a way that anybody solves problems. Just like it's okay in this movie because the stakes of this movie are wildly, weirdly low and specific to cars.
yeah, it's disappointing to me. Like that was like my main like these movies fucking run for 2.5 hours now,
hmm
right? And like we can't just like have like Dom and whoever just like race at the end for funsies. Like we have to have like the beach scene, I get that. We have to have like other things, but like come on, man, give me like even a race between the family, and like we don't need to see the winner, we don't need to see the ending of it, but just send it off. I think the closest thing we get like from, because we mixed up the chronology, is like Han and Giselle like driving off into the sunset kind of situation, right? Like that's kind of like
Mm,
it was seven. We get the Dom and Brian split,
I
but
mean,
that's
the
like a
entire
send
opening
off.
to eight is the Cuban Mile. Like that's a race.
No, no, but I don't want that at the beginning. I want it at the end. Is what I'm saying.
Oh.
Like I'm saying, like you need to have a race right before the credits drop. That's what I want. That's specifically at the end of the movie.
Yeah, I don't know because yeah, let's without spoiling because we're getting close to the things that Montez has not
Yes,
seen.
I know. Yeah,
So
yeah.
let's talk about these as the movies come. But I think you're right. There's not enough movies that end with a race, which is where it started. So
I don't know. I just had like a weird nostalgia for it when I was watching it this time. That I was like, That's ultimately what I want, and I think that hopefully, Justin Lin, I know you're listening, and I know
Hmm.
you'll come back to do 10B, because the other guy obviously doesn't want to be here. They hired him 2 weeks in, but Justin Lin, when you iron out your shit with Vin and The Rock, come back 10B, end it with a nice soft race, kind of like the $1 million race, right? Like something like that, where like the whole family does a race. They're like, and we're racing for home or something like whatever. And do that for me, and I'll appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. You're not alone. I would like to see that. I know a lot of fans like to see it. I also think that the way that we watch these movies, the order in which we watch them, I think if we watched one, two, three, then four, I don't think you would feel that way about this movie.
No, I don't
But I
think so
think
either.
having
Yeah.
seen five and six
Yep.
and then
Yep.
this, it's like, oh, this is a different movie than those entirely.
Yeah, and it's just like something that's like a tiny sparkle that like just makes me feel like happy and nostalgic. And I know that we chopped up the order and they've evolved more naturally than it feels watching them this way, like you said. But I just want it. Just like give me something like gentle to like ease me back in. Like, cause, dude, I have a strong feeling that at the end of 10B we're gonna be like bawling, right? That, like just knowing Fast and the Furious, like they probably might have to kill Tyrese in real life and just like roll this out with him dead.
Not kill Tyrese in real life. Like that's
No, I'm saying, dude, they might have to. That's just like to get the movie going. And I think that would be nice to have like a cute soft send off like we have in Seven to like close the movies out.
yeah. Yeah, I don't think you're wrong. We'll find out. I think we're going to I would not be surprised if like so Montez, did you watch Sense8? I think you did. I think we talked about this, right?
Yes.
Did you watch the movie?
Yes.
So Joe, there was a series on Netflix called Sense8 that the Wachowskis made with Tom Tykwer, whom they made Cloud Atlas with, and it's
Okay.
one of my favorite shows of all time. And
Okay.
it's so wildly ambitious, and it's crazy, and it's so graphic in like every way. Like there are orgy scenes. There's the most graphic birth scene I've ever seen. Like it is. They took swings in that show, and like it's sci-fi and it's weird and it's great. And the fact that it got second season at all was amazing, a miracle. And then after 2 seasons, Netflix pulled a plug. But then gave them financing, funding, whatever, for a movie to finish the story.
Okay.
And so the
Okay.
movie's like 2.5 hours long. And the movie, like the story basically ends like with half an hour to go, and then the last half hour is just kind of like a party with the characters. And like I would not be surprised if that's how
That
10 and
that
10-2 ends. It's just like,
amen.
hey, we have 40 minutes left. Like it's just like it's a barbecue in real time, man. And we're gonna hang out. We're gonna race cars. We're gonna talk. Just because like that.
Recap all of our wacky hijinks that we did through the 10 down. That's like the biggest fan service they can give me, and I would be so excited about it.
Yeah, do you remember that, Montez? Do you remember? Do you
Yeah.
feel about it the
Yeah.
same way that I do? Like, it's just like I just want to hang out with these characters.
Yeah. I cried a lot with that show.
The show's
That
it's
was
so good.
such a beautiful show. I really, really loved that show. Whoever is listening, if you haven't watched it, please go watch it. It was magical.
I would say almost literally, without exaggeration, every episode did something that I've never seen anything else do. It was
Wow.
Yes.
crazy.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. I would agree with that.
It's unbelievably good. The fact that it got a second season at all was a miracle. They had to recast a couple people or whatever, but the movie was just like, hey, we know you love these characters. We love these characters. They win in the end. Spoiler, but like it's a happy ending. And then they just like a literally a half hour long party. It's so weird and like unnecessary, but also perfect. So
Yep.
Sounds
I could
awesome.
definitely see a franchise with by that point close to 25 years of history and characters that you love just being like, hey, let's hang out, let's race cars, let's talk, let's just show people in the garage, on the grill, whatever, just hanging with these characters.
I'd love it. I'd
Yeah.
be a very, very, very big fan of that.
Montez, what else you got? You said you were running toward the end of your notes. What else you got?
She did. She even went notes in her brain. 'Cause
Yeah. I
she didn't
mean,
have any space left on the paper.
I didn't because my handwriting is so huge. Um, no, I got nothing else. I really enjoy this one. I like the music. I like the racing. I
Who's your
enjoyed
favorite
it.
character in this movie? And don't say Han. Can't be Han.
Um, the
And
dad.
do you like this as a standalone movie, like independent of the Fast and Furious? Like if it wasn't called Fast and Furious, just called Tokyo Drift, if Vin does not show up at the end, would you like this as a movie on its own?
I feel like if it was a movie on its own, maybe. I mean, I still remember how I felt when I first watched it. This is the one that this and Too Fast, I've watched the least. I think I've watched this probably a little bit more than Too Fast, but I think when I originally saw it and it originally came out, I was like, this has nothing to do with the other two movies. Like, why are we here?
You got a galaxy brain it, man. You gotta go. You gotta think outside the bun.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know that I would turn it off if it was on TV.
Because I think, to answer that, although nobody needs it, like, I think this is one of the best standalone Fast and the Furious. Like, this is one that I would show to a lot of people, and it would be weird, and it's not like the best exhibition of a Fast and the Furious movie, but I greatly enjoy it, and I think there's some joy in it, right? Like, it feels just like Justin Lin gets like his first fingers on it, and these kind of things that, like, I think that, like, as a standalone movie, if the rest of the Fast and the Furious franchise didn't exist, I would still really enjoy this movie.
But Montez, I sort of stepped on Joe's question. Favorite character in this movie?
The dad?
Sean's dad.
Interesting.
Why?
I think because he like, is putting up with the shit. I don't know. I was just reaching. I don't have a favorite character.
Do you have a sense on who is right on the today is the 7th?
The dad. The mom is a crackhead, so she's obviously wrong. The dad lives there. He knows what day it is.
First of all, she's a single parent, Montez, and as someone with children, you should know how difficult that could be. And he's a little fuck too, which you said.
Mm-hmm.
He's just being a little fuck running around. I don't fault her, dude. She needs a cigarette break inside the police station.
He's a grown man.
Just because he looks 40 does not mean that she does not have to take financial and physical responsibility for her child.
Montez, did you listen to the episode where we interviewed her?
No, I might have skipped that one.
Yeah, we talked to her.
Did she say it was her fault?
Yes.
No, she did not remember. She was like, I don't know.
Yeah. We asked her specifically about this, but I think at the end she was like, probably.
Yeah.
She's like, I wouldn't trust me. Yeah.
She says she seems like she's kind of distraught. Like, yeah, we saw too.
She basically said what is normal. She basically, it was just a job, man. Like, I had fun. Like, it was nice, but like, I don't remember this stuff. So
yeah. She wasn't in it very long. I was
thinking about X-Files. She was in a couple X-Files episodes.
Yeah, talked about that too. Nice. Joe, do you have any other notes, any other thoughts?
No, I think I got them all out as we were talking. I did.
Two very minor ones. I will say, we talked about this with Alex Jacobs when he was on of Racer Trash, Spiffy the dog. But the music in the drift date scene is beautiful. Like that song on the score is wonderful.
Oh yeah.
So I just really like that this time. It just hit me in a different way.
Score and soundtrack, both sides of this movie, incredible, like top tier. I don't know. I don't feel like they've gone away from that, but like, I also wish that it felt more like this, and I don't know if you can recapture that. I don't know if it's like a person or the choices or anything that's happening, or the time for us, the nostalgia that we have for the music that's in this at the time that we were of that age. But yes, I agree.
Yeah. And the other thing that I wanted to say was, something I texted Mike before, but did either of you see the new Elvis movie with Baz Luhrmann's Elvis with Tom Hanks?
No.
Yes.
So a lot of that movie, and Mike's favorite thing from that movie, and a lot of people's favorite thing from that movie, like even to the point where like Paul F. Tompkins has a character on Comedy Bang Bang about this, but Colonel Tom Parker, played by Tom Hanks, is trying to convince Elvis. He's like, you and me, we are the same. We are the same, you and me. Like, he just like, we're in this together. Like, my interests are your interests. When you do well, I do well, and I do well, you do well. Like, you should be. And like Elvis is like, oh, you're right, man. Like, whatever. And like his entire career, he screwed Elvis over. But at one point in this movie, DK says to Neela, you and I are the same, Neela. And so I just texted that gif to Mike, just like, Neela, you and I are the same. We are the same. So, just burned into my brain from Mike. Like, Mike sent me a voicemail on Christmas Eve saying, as Colonel Tom Parker, saying, Merry Christmas, you and I are the same. Ho, 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 you and I are the same. So, Mike has said that to me via text and voice and in person very often. I'm sure he has said it to Robin even more. And so now that line is in my brain forever tied to him.
I have an idea. Can we please ask Mike Manzi or can you cut that and put it in here so I can hear it?
I can maybe forward you the text from him.
Because I like Mike doing impersonations, so and accents. So please.
It was really good.
Thank you.
All right. It's time to play This Ain't No 10-Second Race, aka Boy Do We Have a Podcast for You. So the issue here is that Twitter is surprisingly not doing well tonight. Can you believe it? That Elon firing all his people, like basically the Twitter.com.
It's our last episode's title name.
Doxing Elon's helicopter. It's working on my phone, so I'm going to be able to do it on the phone. I can't really review. I don't know. I genuinely don't know if we can review last because like Twitter just isn't loading.
Oh.
Let me see if I can
do a
find.
Pause and do a double up next time. That's fine by me.
Montez should want to retire on top because Montez got points last time, I think. But okay, I can view things. Okay, let's see here. It's going to be creative. But okay, last time I found Yuletide Chris Vanderkay at CK Vanderkay. Someone let Vin Diesel know that Gal Gadot may be available for those Fast and Furious movies after all. I said all we want is a Han and Giselle 3 movie spin-off series. Boy, do we have a podcast for you. Oh, it got a like. I don't know who liked it because I need to log into Twitter to view, and I can't log into Twitter, so
what?
Maybe I got a point. Maybe I don't have a point.
Mine's fine.
Your desktop is fine?
Yep. It's working delightfully. Yes, I can coach with you. Do you need
I need you to look at this tweet. I need you to see if I get a point for the like or who else liked it. We might just be on different Twitter servers, and I just might not be able to access it. So look at that one and see who liked that tweet.
Okay, let me see.
Do I get a point? This is exciting for me.
Don't miss what's happening. Log in.
No, see if you can log in.
Circle of death.
Yeah.
No, I can't.
Yeah. See?
Sorry.
Okay, so maybe I have a point. Maybe I don't have a point. I don't know.
I have 3 points. I counted them.
Well, do you have a point? Who do you have points from?
Exactly. You can't see shit. I got all these points that I just am adding up right now.
Joe, I know you have no points because you found Ivy at the Cicatrist who quote tweeted the Jason Momoa welcome. Oh, because they said, since they already done with planes, I think this time they go into submarines and Aquaman here wrecks them up. But by the climax, they find out that he is Dom Toretto's pet fish's long lost half brother. We said we were just talking about Dom Toretto's fish, and we agreed, boy, to a podcast for you. Joe, I know you got no points because no interaction on the tweet whatsoever. The view count, it's 0 views. It's not 0 views, but I can't see the views because Twitter is dying. Montez, you found Fell, maybe, at Paco Kick the Taco. A fun way to avoid stupid internet discourse is to log off, get stoned, and make someone watch the Fast and Furious movies the first time. We said, come here, Paco. You're part of our hashtag family, and you didn't even know it. You belong. Boy, do we have a podcast for you. Nothing. So I might have a point. I don't know. I might not. Actually, let me see if I can do it on my phone. We're going to find out. 1 like from CK Vanderkay. Whew, Joe. Point for me. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I got 75 points. You just can't see them right now because Twitter's down.
Well, you're at 78, and I'm at 60.5. Montez up to 11 from last time.
By the way, I just want to say this. Rachel has asked me like 3 questions in the past 24 hours. One was like, guess what percentage my Kindle Paperwhite that you got me is at right now? I said 73%. It was at 72. She asked me some other question. It was a number, and I was like 1 number off of that too. So just to let you know, my fucking number game reigns supreme. Like the chaos energy in this episode, like the points that I just got for all these tweets that you can't see right now. So just add 300 to my points, and we'll call it a day.
I am proud of you. No. The answer is no.
Fuck, I tried, guys. I tried.
Okay, I found this tweet from this guy, Louis Rabinowitz, who has a newsletter. Okay. And so the tweet that I found before, he's done 5 newsletters on Substack about the Fast and Furious. He just put one out on Christmas Day, I think, about Fast 5. But the one I found, I'm either going to reply to 1 of 2 from him about this thing. But he has a thread of the new newsletter. So the one he says is new newsletter on Tokyo Drift, a neat little spin-off with much to teach us about the art of drifting. Bow Wow was Twinkie, and an astonishing cameo that puts Henry Cavill to shame. I don't know. I guess that's the Dom cameo.
Okay.
But the one that I found him from was looking ahead to Tokyo Drift for my newsletters, and I am struggling to get over the hump of, quote, Bow Wow is Twinkie.
Okay.
I think it's just kind of funny. Just like, yeah, that there's a certain point where you have to talk about this movie, and just like Bow Wow is a character called Twinkie, as we've talked about with Wes, because he was originally written as an Asian character, and then they cast Bow Wow, and so they didn't make him Oreo, they just made him Twinkie.
Yep.
And he also said, he responded to his own tweet saying, the Zendaya is Michi of a different era. Stunning.
Is Zendaya is Michi? Who's Michi?
Joe, we've covered this movie for a different podcast.
What is... Who? But but fill me in here. My brain's not clicking.
There was the movie Smallfoot, the Channing Tatum Yeti movie Smallfoot.
Okay.
Where I need to get the name of the comedian, but Zendaya played a character named Michi.
Oh, okay.
And there were all these billboards and like posters around Los Angeles of all the characters like, and Danny DeVito is blank, and Channing Tatum is Smallfoot, and Zendaya is Michi. Gabriel Gundaker, who is very, very talented. I think he's friends with Demi, who we've talked about on here a lot.
Yeah.
He also created Wii Sports theme songs for sports that aren't in Wii Sports, like Wii Sports badminton and stuff. Like he'll just like create songs that are like peaceful and soothing. But he did this video that went viral on TikTok, or it wasn't Vine because it's too recent for Vine, maybe YouTube, maybe TikTok, maybe Instagram, whatever. But he just did a song where, and Zendaya is Michi, which I'm sure you at least knew about. I'm sure Rachel knows.
I'm sure she does know, yeah.
Yeah, it was wonderful. So Bow Wow is Twinkie is a really kind of objectively funny turn of phrase to think about.
Yeah, I like it. Okay, cool.
The best name and casting in the franchise. And I'm going to pander to him. We can't wait to read your newsletter. Boy, do we have a podcast for you. All right. Yes. Joe, do you want to hit us? I know you sent it to you on Facebook. Please hit us with yours.
Yes. My tweet is from Young Wong Manon.
Okay.
At Blue Mazahost. It seems as if this person is replying to a tweet by somebody else that goes by ASAP Spooky Rose. Or a Spooky Rose. Sorry, I thought I read ASAP. That was much cooler in my head. Okay, who was responding to another tweet that said, like, what's a movie that you love that the general public hated? And they said, my shock when I found out people didn't like it and even hated it, Tokyo Drift, but 300 as well, too.
Which we just talked about 300 on the Critic episode. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And they replied, Tokyo Drift is the only Fast and Furious movie I ever liked. Crying emoji.
Okay, so we're responding to Young Woong Manon, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to retweet that one, okay? And what do you want to say to this person?
I want to say, we love Tokyo Drift, but I think if you spend a little time with us, you might like some of the others too. Boy, do we have a podcast for you.
Okay. Montez, what you got?
I just texted you one.
Okay.
Since you said this was working on your phone.
Yes.
It says, this is from Herb Dean.
Yeah, Let Gino Cook on Instagram, or on Twitter, his handle. So, yes, Seahawks fan, 12th man, etc.
Avatar The Way of Water was solid. If I had to score it on a scale from Tokyo Drift to Fast 5, I'd probably say it was Fast and Furious.
Okay.
10 out of 10, boy, do we have a podcast for you.
Okay. If Joe was responding to this one, he would say 5 out of 7, perfect movie, boy, do we have a podcast for you.
Oh.
Yes.
But, cool. All right. We have one more game to play. It's called Dude, What's My Car?
Dude, what?
My car.
What?
Your car, dude.
Oh, yes, let's do it.
So this is an exciting one. No shade to Jerry or anybody who sent these in, but this was the first email that new listener favorite, I don't know how to, somebody we love hearing from, artist who has contributed to the show. This is from Jason Rainey's first email to us. He also added a car picture in there.
Oh, yes. Cool. We're catching up. We're doing good. Okay, cool.
So this is from March of this year.
Okay.
So Montez tonight, Joe, is going to help you guess.
How do you know that?
Because I talked to her. She's my friend. We talk outside the podcast.
You're not allowed to do that. Joey gets mad when you do that.
Also, I'm like, I need to do a
Secret
lot of
chat.
prep for this. I need to make sure that she has what she needs.
Yes,
when I
true.
email her the link to the Zencast, I'm like, do you also need an email for the car picture? She says, no, I'm going to help Joe guess tonight.
Well, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you, Montez, for being on Team Cool Kids that don't love Christmas movies and then pretend like they don't. Thank you.
I'm not gonna be of very much help, but I'm here for you.
Montez, do you love Christmas movies or do you just pretend like you don't like Joey does?
I like trashy Christmas movies. Like I like super cheesy,
Okay.
hallmarky Christmas movies.
Okay.
Like, ironically, I love Tim Allen as Santa Claus.
Ugh.
I love Christmas with the Cranks.
Ugh.
I love
Joey's doing a good job pretending like he doesn't like Christmas movies right now. Good job, Joey. Keep it up.
Jingle All the Way.
Yeah, me too. I do.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, but who doesn't want a Turbo Man for Christmas?
Exactly.
Jason has attached some car pictures for Joe too, and Montez to guess. How do you know you were going to be here? How does he know Montez? Just kidding, he doesn't say Montez. It'd be wild if it did. I'm not sure if you guys have done this one already, but it's a blank, blank, blank. He says aptly named. That's a big hint for you.
Okay.
Though in some countries it was called something else.
Okay.
This name that you're trying to guess was the name for the Japanese market. It's a Japanese car.
Okay.
And it's known as the main car in a Japanese road movie called The Yellow Handkerchief.
Oh, I don't know that movie. Okay.
You know? Actually, I'm going to look this up here.
Aptly named Japanese car in a movie.
There's a Maria Bello, Kristen Stewart movie, The Yellow Handkerchief. I don't think that's the one that he's talking about. This is the Japanese one. 3 complete strangers embark on a road trip to Hokkaido.
Okay.
Jason
so
gave it 4 stars. This looks
Drive My
like
Car,
pretty.
but the movie.
Man, I love Drive My Car. Montez, did you see Drive My Car?
No.
Jason, let us know if we should watch The Yellow Handkerchief for the podcast. Because remember, Joe, the movie that Jason's having us watch later this lap as a patron pick, it's from a series I'd never heard of. This movie number 5, and it's wild. It's like the Ichiban Ishi whatever, like truck guys or whatever.
Down. Yeah.
So The Yellow Handkerchief, directed by
Aptly
Yoji
named.
Yamada. Okay.
Okay. Continue.
So it's a major car make. It is a model I've never heard of, but it is aptly named.
It's a Toyota.
No.
It's a Nissan.
No. Think Tokyo Drift.
Mitsubishi.
Think Tokyo Drift. Think
How does-
Han.
Mazda.
Look, I
Okay.
know car stuff.
There you go. You did good. Yeah.
The picture, it's orange, and there's 2 different. It looks like there's 2 different like sort of sets of pictures. I don't know if this is the common color, but it looks like they're both kind of the same orange, kind of like a cherry, maybe like a tomato red or an orange, like in between there.
Burnt
It's
orange.
Burnt orange, sure. It's a 4-door sedan, kind of a station wagon-y kind of thing.
Kind of a station agony kind of. Okay, station wagon. Does it just have a hatch and you're calling it a station wagon, or is it actually like kind of a station wagon?
No, it doesn't really have a hatch. It has like a thing that back, like it kind of has the rear, like how the thing goes down, like it slopes down in the back, and then the bottom drops. Like it's not a full hatch, I don't think, unless I don't know how to describe a hatch. It kind of looks like a car that should only have 2 doors, but it has 4 doors. It's got these very weird kind of like the rear view mirrors are coming out of the hood. They're not by the driver's and passenger's door. They're like almost by the headlights.
Okay, so like an old school car style, like off the hood fender,
Yes.
forward quarter panel type situations.
This car is from 1977. I don't think I gave that year yet, but it's from 1977.
I have a weird name stuck in my head.
Go for
but
it.
it doesn't match any of the other things. Is it like a panda?
No, remember, it's aptly named.
Aptly named, yeah. That's what I thought. Maybe it looked like a panda, and you just weren't conveying it, even though it was orange. But go ahead, continue.
No, it looks like a station wagon. I'm going to look it up on Wiki, see if there's any kind of,
Facts.
Yeah, do you have, I can give you what it was called in other countries, though, too. Hold on, he says...
Oh, fun,
In
yeah.
other countries, it was the 323 or the GLC. But this is the name, we're trying to guess the name that was for the Japanese market, because the Japanese car and the Japanese name is the one that's appropriate to us.
I'm not ready to give up yet, but this is tough. Continue
It's
on.
also known as the Protege or the Allegro. It's a small family
The
car.
Protege.
It's known as a yeah, but that's not what we're guessing.
I know, but okay, that one I remember. Go ahead, continue.
Manufactured between 63 and 03, was replaced by the Mazda 3 or the Excella for 2004. It was rebranded as the Ford Laser and Ford Meteor in Asia, Oceania, Southern Africa, and some Latin American countries. The Ford Escort and Mercury Tracer in North America.
That's funny. They had the Tracer, the Probe, the Meteor, and the other one you said. Ford, which is like straight into space.
Yeah. So this one is from maybe the third generation? Let me see here. Yeah, this is from the third generation, the FA3 Series 2. Basically an updated version of the earlier one, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it was manufactured in Hiroshima Assembly. In Hiroshima, it's either a 2 or 4-door sedan or a 2-door coupe. Front engine with rear wheel drive.
Aptly named. Can you tiptoe around why it's aptly named for me?
It's
please?
very Fast and Furious.
It's very Fast and Furious.
I will say that the model of the car is very Fast and Furious. In a way, the word what you're trying to guess is very, very, very Fast and Furious.
The Han?
No, it's a word from another language.
The Wabaki.
No, a different language, not Japanese.
A word from a different language.
You can also ask questions about the car, which is how the game was supposed to work, but it's very difficult. I don't know if you know this car, but if you want to guess...
No, I don't. That's why I'm trying to like hint on the name thing and use
what
that angle
what
to
non-English, non-Japanese words are synonymous or are tied to the Fast and Furious?
The Familia?
The Mazda Familia.
Nailed it. Thank you. Wow.
Okay,
we
got
got
you
there.
down a very long pier, but we got there.
We did. Holy shit. No, I've never heard of the Mazda Familia ever. The Protege, yes, and they brought the Protege back, I think, like not long ago. Maybe I just remember the 2003 ones before they stopped making it, but that's very, very cool. And the Familia, great name. Excellent pick. I should have gotten there earlier. Aptly named. I thought it was going to be like amphibian, like the frog. Like I thought it was like an animal or something, and it looked like the animal, you know?
No. Aptly named for the podcast. I just sent you Montez via text and Joe via Facebook pictures of the car. It's kind of station wagon. I wouldn't call this a hatch. I just call it like a station wagon rear.
This is a hatch for this time, but yeah.
You think it's a hatch? Okay.
Yeah, but this thing would be fucking cool to drive. Imagine if you had one of these now. I bet they all sucked because there's
these
like
mirrors are so weird.
Right? Was that normal back then, Joe?
I don't know. It's like on some cars, like it's definitely not a modern thing. I don't know if it's legal to like have your mirrors there now if you don't have like a vintage car. Like if there's like rules about it, but I've seen it on other cars.
Gotcha. Cool. Well, that is the end of the episode. Montez, thank you once again for joining us. We'll be back in 3 weeks for Fury 7. And also, we've not said this yet. I don't even know if you know this yet, but Montez, you're going to have a co-guest on that episode because once per lap, we have the vocal stylings of Brian Late Night Slumber Party Rodriguez. He's on one Fast and Furious movie per lap, and Fury 7 is one of the ones he has not done. So you will be joined next episode by Brian.
Ooh.
So make sure you fill out your quadrants, but he will do a lot of talking because he always does a lot of talking. So you'll be, that could be real chaos energy. If he channels his inner Kate Hudson, this could be a wild episode. So stay tuned in 3 weeks for Furious 7 with Montez. Get ready. So you've seen 7.
Yes.
And you saw Hobbs and Shaw, but you have not seen 8 or 9.
Michael and I are going to be together, and he said that I can't watch this movie with him or I'll see him cry. But
right,
guess
yes.
what? I'm going to make him watch it on the train so we can cry in front of a bunch of strangers.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
Do it.
Very cool.
And then take video of it and post it and be like, look at this little cry baby.
Yeah. So that is coming up in 3 weeks, Joe. Between now and then, we've got the Iron Giant. We've got the Patreon bonus episode of Ralph Breaks the Internet. We've got Life in the Fast Lane, minute 81. So very exciting things these next 3 weeks between now and Furious 7. Montez, is there anything you want to let the people know, anywhere that they can find you, anything that you want to share with them, anything that you have not said already in this episode?
Go watch Sense8. It'll change your life.
Yeah, fair.
Everybody stay frosty.
Stay frosty. Joe, do you have any final thoughts on the episode?
No, I was just thinking about how, like, I've been seeing these tweets about how Hooters is rebranding, and that just seems weird to me. Like,
what are they rebranding to?
We don't know. They just say like millennials aren't as excited by boobs anymore, and so they're rebranding. And I don't know. I would like to learn more about that.
Interesting.
That's my final thought. For today.
All right. Well, for all things Hooters and Too Fast, Too Forever, you go to cageclub.me, facebook.com/TooFastTooForever, or at TooFastTooForever on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Email us, family, at cageclub.me. This means you, West, remember to send in an email you forgot to send in us. Check out our Patreon page at TooFastTooForever.com and our store over on TeePublic, and come back next week as we talk about Vin in the animated film The Iron Giant. I'm Joey Lewandowski.
I'm Joe too.
And that was Montez. Montez, you want to say goodbye?
Goodbye.
And we'll tell you all about it
when we see you